You'll never be anything. Why do you keep wasting your time? Nobody wants to hear your ideas. You can't even get the simple things right.
For years, I wanted to go back to school. For years, I told myself I would finish what I started. That night, I finally found the courage to enroll again. But he saw my dream as a threat, and standing there, I thought about the pieces of something I had worked so hard to believe in. I started wondering if maybe he was right. I wish I could tell you that was the moment everything changed. It wasn't. The truth is, for a long time, I believed him. I believed I wasn't smart enough. I believed I wasn't strong enough. I believed I wasn't capable enough. And little by little, I stopped recognizing the woman staring back at me. The saddest part wasn't what he said to me. The saddest part was that I started saying those things to myself. But it wasn't always like this. When we first met, he made me feel seen. He made me feel important. He listened to my dreams. He asked about my future. When I talked about going back to school, he smiled and told me I could do anything. I thought I had found someone who believed in me. For the first time in a long time, I felt safe. I felt loved. I felt hopeful. At first, red flags didn't look dangerous. They looked like concern. They looked like protection. They looked like love. He didn't like me spending time with certain friends. He wanted to know where I was, who I was with, what I was doing. At first, I thought it meant he cared. Come on, girl, let's go dancing. You know how much you love to dance. I didn't lose myself all at once. It happened piece by piece. I stopped answering my friends' calls. I stopped spending time with people who cared about me. I stopped dancing. I stopped going to school. I stopped smiling the way I used to. I stopped believing my dreams mattered. The hardest part wasn't losing those things. The hardest part was not realizing I was losing myself. I learned to read his moods before I spoke. I learned when to stay quiet. I learned when to apologize for things that weren't my fault. I spent so much time trying to keep the peace that I forgot how to live in it. Every day felt like walking on eggshells, and every day I became a little smaller. Somewhere along the way, I stopped believing in myself. I stopped believing I was smart enough, strong enough, worthy enough. I looked in the mirror and saw broken pieces, not because that was who I was, but because that's who I had been told I was. And after hearing it long enough, I started believing it. I thought I was broken. I thought I was lost. I thought there was nothing left to save. One night, I found an old box. Inside were pieces of the woman I used to be. Photographs, dreams, plans, goals, promises I had made to myself. And for the first time in years, I realized how much of me I had lost.
I wasn't just losing a relationship. I was losing myself. And something inside me finally said, enough.
I wasn't just losing a relationship. I was losing myself. And something inside me finally said, enough.
Leaving wasn't easy. I was afraid. Afraid of starting over. Afraid of being alone.
Afraid of failing. But I was more afraid of spending the rest of my life as someone I no longer recognized. That night, I made a choice. I couldn't keep losing myself trying to save someone else. I deserved more. And for the first time in a very long time, I chose me. Healing didn't happen overnight. Some days I cried. Some days I doubted myself. Some days I wanted to quit. But every day I took one small step forward, one prayer, one conversation, one decision, one act of courage at a time. The pieces didn't come back all at once, but little by little, I began finding myself again. For years, I believed I wasn't smart enough. For years, I believed I had missed my chance. But healing has a way of reminding you who you were before the world convinced you otherwise. One day, I enrolled in school again. The same dream he tried to destroy. The same dream I had buried for years. This time, I wasn't doing it for anyone else. I was doing it for me. I thought I had lost the woman I used to be. The woman who laughed. The woman who dreamed. The woman who danced. But she wasn't gone. She was waiting for me underneath all the hurt. And one day, without even thinking about it, I danced again, and it felt like coming home. The woman staring back at me wasn't perfect. She still had scars. She still had healing to do. But she was no longer broken. She was stronger, wiser, braver. I finally stopped seeing myself through his eyes and started seeing myself through God's eyes. The pieces weren't lost. They were being restored, one piece at a time.
If you see yourself in this story, I want you to know something. You do not have to stay where you are. You are not the names you've been called. You are not. You are not the broken pieces. Healing is possible, and your story is not over. If this story encouraged you, subscribe to Stories That Heal, where every story points towards hope, healing, and restoration.